Ndichipedza form 4 anti I was nothing. Hapana zvandandiita, ndakagara zvamagumba ndi pasina zvandikuita.
Upenyu hwedu hwanga hwakatidzikirei nekuti kuwana kwacho kwainetsa kuti wane mari. Taingoitawo upenyu hwekurima, hwekudiridzirawo magadheni mariko.
Upenyu hwangu nemamwe even mayouth kusati asiswa hwanga hwakaoma zvikuru.
Ndisati ndatangira training ayelo ndandiri munhu angakagara kumba.
When we look at the current statistics, we realize that there is a lot of unemployment amongst the youth, and the major challenges are that every year about 88% of those who sit for either grade 7 or O level do not have a full certificate. So that makes it difficult for us. We have a lot of people, no less than 300,000 youth, that drop out of formal education every year.
Youth employment is a critical challenge for many countries, including Zimbabwe. This has become a top priority in the development program of many countries. And even worldwide, this year for the UN is the Youth Year. And one of the main challenges for the youth is, of course, employment issue.
Zimbabwe is one of the countries in Africa seriously challenged by youth unemployment. As a response to this situation, the International Labour Organization, ILO, and the government of Denmark is working with the government, labour and employers, as well as other partners to strengthen skills development systems that improve employability, promote access to employment opportunities, and increase incomes for inclusive and sustainable growth.
Skills for youth employment and rural development is a combination of strategies that are integrated into one package in such a way that it creates employment and income generating opportunities for the young women and men in the rural and urban areas. That package essentially includes training and non-training services. It includes vocational training, it includes entrepreneurship training, it includes microfinance, it includes access to market, and it includes better business management practices. So, in a nutshell, this program promotes the integration of various employment creation strategies into one package that is then put at the disposal of our partners at the district level, and it creates employment and income generating opportunities for the people.
One of the beneficiaries of this project in Mutoko speaks about how this project has transformed his life and the lives of other young people in his district.
Hongu kurima tairima, asi taikundikana kuzonyatso producer zvakanaka nekuda kwokuti ma-inputs anga ari mashoma, tatisina capital yakanyatsokwana to start our business. So when ILO came, we managed to get very good capital so that we started to produce in large quantities. And as a result, now our lives, we have improved our standard of living. We managed to build even a house. I managed also to buy a truck.
Eunice Matemba, who was unemployed before this skills training program, now works as a manager and hairdresser at a hairdressing salon in Bulawayo.
Ndisati ndaita training ye-hairdressing, upenyu hwanga hwakaoma, hwaitonzwisa tsitsi. Ndaingogara kumba pasina zvandiri kuita, ndisingashandi. Ende munongozova kuti kana usingashande makwareos apere mumba. Taingogara tichingonetsana nemurume because mari inenge iri shoma. Iwo unenge uchidawo ma-responsible wako, iye anenge achikudza kuti the money is not enough. Saka zvese izvozvo ndaisangana nazvo. But through this ILO training course hairdressing yandakazoita, my life has changed. Ezvinezvi ndakugona kusapota mhuri yangu.
In 2010, the ILO and its partners launched a Skills for Youth Employment and Rural Development program, which is implemented through two methodologies: the Training for Rural Economic Empowerment, TREE, in the rural areas, and the Quality Improvement of Informal Apprenticeships in the urban areas.
The first thing which is different is that the income or economic opportunities are identified before the training is provided. Then they are translated into training and non-training support services which would be provided to those people. Secondly, it makes use of the local resources and local structures.
Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.
That's the second thing. Thirdly, if people cannot come to training, then you need to take training to people. So this training is being provided at a place and time which is convenient to the communities. Fourthly, it creates employment opportunities at the local level. Unlike in other cases, people might want to migrate to urban areas or overseas. But this actually creates employment locally. And then finally, when you create one employment, it has a multiplier effect. And that multiplier effect means that our beneficiaries are creating employment for other people from the communities who are not our direct beneficiaries.
I am the field officer for the Skills for Youth program in Togo. The project started in 2011, and when we enrolled 60 youth, we trained them. ILO provided us with training material in the form of fertilizers, seed and chemicals. After training, what we noticed is that the beneficiaries managed to expand their business. They managed to grow quality produce. About 27 of our beneficiaries managed to access loans, and what they did so wonderful. They paid back mostly before the period that they were given for the loan.
Microfinance is one of an important employment creation strategies. So we also included, because people out there in the rural areas, they have limited access to capital. So only training will not help unless you provide access to capital. So once you provide and ensure that access, then the wheel starts to move for employment.
In the Highland district in Zimbabwe's capital city, Harare, more than 300 youths have been trained and about 7 companies have been registered by the young people.
Inini pandakatangisa kuenda kuchikoro cheku ILO ndakadzidza kuzviraramira iwo pachako. Usiri munhu anokwanisa kukumbira mumwe munhu. Saka kubva pandakatanga training ndakadzidza zvakanyanya. Ndakatanga kudzidza kuti ndinogona kugadzira zvinhu zvangu. Saka pandakagona kugadzira zvinhu zvangu ndakatanga kuitawo masales, ndagadzira chinhu changu ndotengesa. Ndatengesa ndoonoka profit kandosara nacho. Ndogadzira zvechimwe chinhu. Saka ndakadzidza zvakanyanya. Uye ndakadzidza zvekuti business rinofamba sei. Uyezve unokwanisa kutsvaga makastoma ako sei. Ndakazvidzidza from ILO. Inini upenyu hwangu hwanga hwakandiomera. Ndinoti hwanga hwakandiomera chikonzero chekuti ndine vana vanoda kuenda kuchikoro, vanoda kudya, pandinogara panoda kubhadharwa. Saka ndanga ndiri munhu wekuti ndinorarama nekukumbira hama neshamwari. kuti ndipeiwo mwedzi wapera ndipeiwo mari yerenti, mwana adzinga kuchikoro ndipeiwo school fees. Saka ndinoti zvanga zvakandiomera izvozvo.
You know, in fact, it's not only in carpentry. In most of the initiatives that they are developing in piggery, in poultry, or horticulture, or beekeeping, women are really involved, young women are particularly involved, and I think that they are quite well performing. You can see that even from some indicator, these are people where business is sometimes quite successful. They are reimbursing the loans, and I think that is quite important to know that it's really very important that we involve women. They can have some challenges, those who are having young babies, but we have to find appropriate solution to support them comprehensively.
In Makoni district in Rosape, another woman, Tsitsi Chanyandura, and her group have excelled in their piggery project.
Patakachena takatanga kupiwa nguruve 1 yanga yakaserviswa yanga ine mauta kudhara, ndokubva yasvikobereka vana vayo 4. Saka yabereka vana 4 kudaro, ndokubva tashanda netwana tuya, ndobva tavarumura ndokubva tapa futi mai wacho mumwe mukono, ndokubva yatibarira futi vana 10. 2 wacho ndokubva wazofawo, ndobva kwasara 8. ndo mamiriro acho zvakaita. Izvozvo tiri kuona kuti zvachinja upenyu hwedu, although hedu tisati taita mari yakawanda, asi tiri kutoona kuti zvachinja upenyu hwedu, nekuti tiri vanhu vanga vakangogarawo 1 wasina chimwe chinhu chavari kuita. Saka so ndiri kutoona kuti tato nechimwe chinhu chekuti unofuma uchitirega ndiite zvakati. Plus chazvakanakira futi manje tiri kuona kuti unenge uri pamba uchiita futi basa. Saka tinoona kuti zvatochinja upenyu hwedu nekuti taane chekuitawo nemaoko edu, tisina kungogara semagariro atanga tikangoita tisati taane chekuita.
Tablespoon, 1 tablespoon.
Marshall Mutandavari, who completed his training successfully as a chef, was offered permanent employment by his master craftsperson and has proved to be an invaluable asset to this company.
I was given 6 students, 2 males and 4 female students. I have a guest house as well, so I actually divided them and sent 2 of them to the guest house so that they would then swap and get a chance to make beds and that aspect of accommodation which they had to do. And then I retained 4 here. I was rotating them. During that time, I actually recognized the passion that Marshall had for cooking. He came green like all of them, wet behind the ears, but he was really raring to go to learn. And for me as a trainer, because training is my background, I get very encouraged and motivated when I see somebody who has got a passion to learn, and I watch them grow from where they can't cut onions until they can actually cut them while they are talking and things like that. And he displayed that, and he seemed to really have focus in terms of what he wanted to do.
Program yabatsira stereke upenyu wangu, because at first ndichipedza form 4 I was nothing. Hapana zvandanchiita, ndakagara zvangu kumba pasina zvandiri kuita. But a friend of mine akazouya kwandiri achiti mashi pane macourse anoitwa ILO. First ndo ndaconsulta mama vangu kuti what should I do? Akazoti it's okay, go ahead. Ndo ataenda kuLobhengola Vocational Training Center. Takaita theory ye 3 months. Ndo atazonzwa kuma attachment, but yandibatsira stereke, yandibatsira, because now I can even do these things on my own. I can even bake, I can even cook on my own. Saka yandibatsira. Takauya panapa takawanda then boss vangu vakazoti ndingade kushanda newe, so maybe we can see kuti tingasvike papi tichishanda tese, and ndane 2 years ndiri panapa.
The Skills for Youth Employment and Rural Development Program is administered on the ground by district administrators and is being implemented in 32 districts in Zimbabwe. This makes up half of the total districts in the country. At a national level, the meetings are chaired by representatives from government, labour and employers.
To me, this program was and is a very successful program in that so far the program has created more than 10,000 jobs for youth, both girls and boys, or young men and young women. It has created that type of employment. And it has also brought food on their table, right, which is very paramount. And it has seen them able to send their children to school, which was not easy for them. They've even upgraded their children to go to boarding schools. This has happened in so many areas. So for me, this is a success. The role of the ZCTU is to see that the project itself has gone to the right people at the right time. Remember, it is targeting the youths unemployed. And the labor is about those who are employed and protect their employment. But the first thing is to create the employment. So we want to monitor and see if this program really reaches the intended beneficiaries.
MCOS's role is recognizing that we cannot grow in enclaves. If we are to have growth, that growth has got to be national. There is this, you've heard of poverty anywhere is a threat to prosperity everywhere. I sincerely believe in that. So what I'm looking at is, if we are going to get Zimbabwe the kind of economy that it deserves, then this should be an economy for the 13 million people, and not for any enclave of whatever size. And therefore, let's have inclusive business. And the definition of inclusive business is persuading the big guys that there is more money to be made in looking at the informal sector, bringing it up to the standard you want, and then including them as part of your business process. And this is what I'm looking at as my mission now.
Well, the ILO, always responds to requests. The government has formally requested us to roll this program out to all the districts in the country and also cover those uncovered areas in the existing districts. Now, that needs huge investment. And that huge investment is going to be mobilized from the development partners. So, if we are able to develop a big program and the development partners are willing to put their resources into it, then we would be able to implement this program all across the country, and then you can say you will see the impact.
The program runs until 2015, by which time the ILO would have transformed the lives of 15,000 young people.
Ndane mufaro mbamangu ndakugona kusapota family yangu, and we are very happy with my husband and my kids.
Inini basa ndakugona asi chishamiso kune vamwe vanhu vechirume dzimwe nguva vanotoseka kuti konde zvipi zvauri kuita izvi, asi vamwewo vanotondinikareja kuti waita zvakanaka.
I have expanded my business even to transport, and recently I'm looking forward that I would like to build a business shop.
Takutokwanisa kunyatsorima kuti tinorimawo tichiwana mari yekutowana waenda kuchikoro, tichionawo mari yechikafu, mari yekutochengetawo wabereki.
Taane chekuitawo nemaoko edu tisina kungogara semagariro atanga takangoita tisati taane chekuita. Saka upenyu hwedu tinoona kuti hwazhinji.
One day I know I'll be owning a restaurant. One day I know. Ndichave ndichiona restaurant and you'll see it.